Welcome back. Per usual, it's Jazz, aka Flirting with Pages. Before we start, if you hear everybody doing their lawns, it's because they all decided to start doing their lawns as soon as I pressed record on this video. So, yay. I think this month was actually a really good reading month for me. I read 6 books in total. 2 of them were ebooks, 3 of them were regular physical copies, and 1 of them I listened to the audio while I was following along. I will get into each and every single one of them and which one was which. I am still currently reading 2 books though. I'm recording this video a little bit earlier than I usually do. I still have a week left of June, and I plan on finishing these books before the month ends, so I will be including those at the very end. Let's go ahead and get started with the monthly wrap-up. I started the month off by reading Hooked by Emily McIntire. This is a Peter Pan retelling. It was an interesting read. I did have a friend who was very excited that I started this book. It was also really fast-paced, and I honestly devoured this book. It did have a couple of things that just kind of made me give it a lowish rating. It wasn't really bad, but unless you're specifically looking for a Peter Pan dark romance retelling, then this is it. It's not exactly a Peter Pan retelling because technically Wendy doesn't really end up with Peter at all. That is actually her dad. Her main love interest in this book is Hook, which honestly, that's the part I was actually kind of excited to read about. Everyone says that the first book going into it is most likely going to be bad, but keep reading, keep pushing through, and I think I will. The next one is Scarred, and I am probably gonna pick that up. I will say that this one did kind of discourage me from picking that one up for a minute. I was like, is it worth it? But I'm going to keep pushing through, and I'm going to read the second one, so yeah. Up next, I read Take a Hint, Dani Brown by Talia Hibbert. This book honestly low-key surprised me, and I don't understand why. I made a whole entire video of this. I don't understand why. Everybody was saying it was such a good book, and here I am surprised that I loved it so freaking much. Both characters were so cute. Dani and Zaf were just... it was so cute. And as somebody who doesn't really like friends to lovers, this book was so freaking good. Trope wise, yes, this is friends to lovers, forced proximity, fake dating, and friends with benefits, which just I feel like it was all tied up very nicely. I absolutely loved it. My sister's cat threw my phone, well, the stand and the camera, so yay. But anywho, back to what I was saying. The next book I picked up was The Prince and the Dressmaker by Wang. This book was so freaking cute, so adorably cute. It was killing me inside. It follows Sebastian. His parents are looking for a wife for him. He though is looking for a dressmaker for reasons that you should read the book. Him and his dressmaker end up becoming best freaking friends, and it's so cute. There are some hard topics that are talked about in this book, but the ending, the art style, everything, it was just absolutely adorable, and it made me want to pick up more graphic novels because I don't think I have enough, which I don't. I really don't. After that, I picked up an arc, which was Queen of the Night by Muse. This book is technically contemporary, but because of what it included, I technically just said fantasy. It is a werewolf romance, but let me tell you the tropes. It includes friends to enemies to lovers, werewolf romance, bodyguard romance, fated mates, mafia, forced proximity, and alpha MC. That little twist at the end, honestly, it didn't really surprise me because I saw the build up, but the way she wrote it, I absolutely loved it. In the beginning, I really did not like the characters at all, but at the end, I was like, you know what, this is actually kind of good. It basically follows Frankie. She has lost her 3 brothers, her mother, and at this point, the only person she has left is her dad. She is the oldest daughter of a mafia don, which means that technically she is next in charge. A lot of things start getting crazy around her, and her dad decides to get her a new bodyguard, which just so happens to be one of her ex-friends, Charlie. Literally the first night of Charlie guarding. They're both already attacked and they instantly have to go to her grandma's house to seek shelter. And the story is basically told from Charlie coming back to them going to her grandma's house. It's not that long. It's only 142 pages long. It is a fast-paced, short read, and I absolutely love that she writes her books like that because they're easier to consume. I could not put the book down, and even though it was like kind of goofy at points, it was honestly worth it. The next ebook I picked up was also an arc. It is More Please by Selys Rivera. What I liked about this book was that it's told in little tiny increments. So it's told from when she's a child to up to when she's like an adult. It's little parts and it's really short. It's a novella. It talks about grief and relationships between mothers and daughters. Just the fact that she made macaroni and cheese sound like the most cozy yet sad thing, I absolutely love that part. It was only 42 pages long. Like I said, it's a very, very short novella. It's cute yet heartbreaking at the same time. And I love the concept of it. The last book I picked up was This Is Why They Hate Us by Aaron H. Aceves. I read along while I listened to the audiobook. It was killing me at first and it was kind of dragging on, and I decided to go ahead and look for the audiobook, and that helped a lot. I was able to finish it in like a day or two. This book follows Enrique, aka Kike. His goal this summer is basically to look for different prospects to help him get over his current crush, which is his best friend Salim. I have kind of like a love-hate relationship with this book. At some points I really love it. It was a cute read. It was also very impactful, but then at times like the writing was kind of cringy and it was just kind of like killing me inside. But at the end of the day, it's a YA book, so all of these teenagers are honestly going to kill me with their decisions. His friend Fabiola, I absolutely hated her. I don't know if it's just me, but I absolutely freaking hated her. As for Salim though, I loved his character. I really loved him. The next two books I'm going to talk about, I'm currently reading. I am going to finish them before the end of the month. We have Sunrise and Eterna by Amparo Ortiz. This is a fantasy book. This is also my first ever fae book. It's about Savim. She is a gothic girl. She's gotten caught stealing elf bodies after they have died and selling them on the black market. The guy who catches her happens to be the prince. His name is Aro. After getting caught, she tries to run away, but Aro ends up catching up to her and basically forcing her to join this event that the elves host for humans specifically. It kind of gives off Charlie and the Chocolate Factory vibes if you were to mix that with like either Divergent or even the Hunger Games all together. Literally those three. I know it doesn't make sense, but if you read it and you think about it, it'll make sense. I'm honestly not that far. I'm almost halfway through, but so far this is actually more interesting than I thought it would be. I don't really read that much fantasy, and I think this month I've actually read the most fantasy I've ever read in my whole entire life, and I've just read 2 books. Those are all of the books that I wanted to include in this video. Thank you for watching. Go ahead and comment what books you read or how many books you read this month, all of those details, or even just to comment on one of the books that I read. Don't forget to follow me on all of my socials. Reach out. Let's talk about books. Any opportunity to fangirl over books, especially any books that I have read, I will take it. But yeah, that is basically everything for this video. Once again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, whatever. And yeah, that's basically it. Goodbye.